My name is Justin, Justin Bishop, from Conway, Arkansas. Been living here since I was in 7th grade. Moved here from Mayflower, which is just a town over.
Yeah, I'm Joshua Hooks. Live in Heber Springs. Was born and raised in Mayflower. Moved further up north when I was 15, 16. And yeah.
So like I said, I moved to Conway in 7th grade when my parents split up, and just kind of was a little skater kid at school, and so I came to Conway, been here ever since. I've kind of been all over the place since then when it comes to professions, so law enforcement, coaching degree, technical recruiting. Worked in the hospital. I mean, I've literally been doing everything but Pokemon since then. Growing up, so we grew up in Mayflower. Me and him were friends growing up. Say 5th grade, like we stay over each other's houses and freaking try to sink boats and
Yeah, spent all our time
WrestleMania
fishing.
2000 and stuff. Yeah, but yeah. So go ahead.
Oh man, and GoldenEye 007.
Yes.
Filling those rooms with proximity mines.
Gosh.
Yeah. And so for me, of course, born and raised in Mayflower. Ended up moving further up north, like I said, when I was about 15, 16. After a little while, I started college, Heber Springs. Didn't really know what I wanted to do at all. Just kind of bounced around degrees, killing time. Transferred to UCA. Graduated with my bachelor's degree from UCA. Began technical recruiting afterwards. And, found that love of Pokemon, Unbroken Bonds, watching videos of Leonhardt, got back into that. And then one thing led to another. We ended up reconnecting back based on Pokemon, kicking around ideas, and here we are.
So we obviously we went to elementary school together, and then it was 2020, I think, the end of 2020. I'd bought my brother's Pokemon cards from him. My brother is he's a lot older, like 20 years older than me. So I bought his collection, and I was going around selling the cards. And I guess he saw me post that I was looking for anyone's collections of Pokemon. And he messaged me, he's like, hey, he's like, I do Pokemon, blah, blah. And say that was late 2020. And we got together and we're going through all of his cards and such. And we had this crazy idea of hey, let's start a business. And that way we can get packs and open them for cheaper.
Yeah.
And now we don't open the packs and we just sell them to everyone else, and they pull everything good.
We're just sitting there having conversations over the phone about ideas and how we can do this and do that with Pokemon. And we're like, let's start a business. Like, yeah, that's a great idea. What would we call it? And we'll call it Trainer J's. Like, yeah, that's an awesome name. Like, we never really thought that it would all just escalate. Yeah. And here we are. I was just scrolling through Facebook. I seen a Facebook post. Justin was asking people on his friends list if they had any old cards, and I'm like, hey, he's back into Pokemon. Let's shoot him a message. And that was kind of what got it all started. I was like, so what are you looking to do with Pokemon? I've started kind of doing these things and grading, and he's like, I want to do all of it. And just passing advice back and forth led to, like he said, wanting to get a business license so we can get cards at wholesale pricing, from distributors. And we're like, we can just do an online, website. And ran into a roadblock real quick because you got to have brick and mortar to get new distributors. So we're like, let's do brick and mortar then. And then somehow or another that we want to have stuff to open just kind of was backburnered. We never really thought about that until we had shelves full. We were sitting here and we're like, we didn't do a good job of opening stuff for cheap. It's just our original plan went out the window.
Yeah. 2021. I mean, we joked about it. We're like, man, we're not gonna be able to afford to get a place or anything like that. We actually went out and did what's it called?
Market days.
Market days in Greenbrier. Had a little booth set up out there and had all of our Pokemon stuff. And a good friend of mine named Keith McKay came out there and was like, he's like, man, he's like, I really like y'all doing all this Pokemon stuff. This is awesome. He's like, we have a place downtown for our film business, Bear Spear. He's like, we have a little space available if y'all want to, rent that out from us, and y'all can make it a little shop. And that was what, May, I think it was. I think it was like right after my birthday. It was May of last year.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, man, let's go check it out. And I mean, it's like, what, I don't know, 100 square feet. I don't know. It was tiny. But it was in the middle of downtown. And we're like, yeah, this is awesome. So, I mean, we got with the owner and set up down there and ran it for, I mean, it was only open for like 2.5, 3 weeks. The owner had real issues with us having a retail store there and didn't want us to have anything on our door to promote ourselves because it would interfere with the mural. And so, I mean, little by little, it just kind of snowballed until we're like we weren't allowed to be there anymore. So we were only there, like I said, open like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, but in those 2.5 weeks, it was like, we could tell we had something special. And then we had a third partner at the time, and so he decided he didn't want to pursue it any further. So we, just kind of, I was selling out of my apartment and just kind of doing what we could do, doing claim sales, everything else, and getting turned down for new places left and right, like whether it was credit or credit history or business history or whatever it was. And I was like super discouraged. Like he remembers I made the post on Facebook, went live, talking about how I just wanted to sell it all done and be done with it. And then Josh was like, hey man, just let's hang in there. Something will happen. And then like 2-3 weeks later, September, the guy who used to be with us sent me this place and was like, hey, this might be a good opportunity. The rent's good, everything else. So I met with them and we got approved, and I was like, holy crap. And we moved in and started operations November 18th of last year here.
The market days, something to kind of elaborate on that's pretty interesting is our first location rested on the back of success from market days. There was someone there that had a sports card store. And because of COVID and everything else, they ended up, I guess, losing the store, going under. But he just had a whole bunch of leftover product. And he just had boxes of older Pokemon stuff. And we're like, hey, we want all of it. And, based on that purchase and selling some stuff there, that was actually what gave us the financial backing to open our first location.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, me.
So, it's pretty interesting to stop and think about that. Like, everything that has gotten us here has just been opportunity. Justin was ready to, basically pull the plug. We just ran into one dead end after the other in between locations. And, we had conversations, pep talks, like hang in there. And then suddenly, this place come up. But, we kind of had to stop and realize that, all of the difficult times, everything that you had to put in the extra work to make it happen. That's what makes you, basically prove yourself, in order to move forward. And, we earned it based on that one.
Yeah. So that guy that we bought the stuff from, he had like 50 of these flash fire packs. And then we got like 10 of these mythical boxes from him. Mm-hmm. And we ended up keeping a set of each. And we've kept them since then. We display them proudly. I mean, people have come in and made offers on them and everything. But, I mean, we keep them as like, hey, this was like the turning point. This is like where it all started.
Yeah.
And like, so it's like a constant reminder of, hey man, y'all are making, progress. And then we see everything that the community thinks of Trainer Jay's, and we still can't actually believe it. Like, we just consider ourselves, hey, we're just like doing some little Pokemon store.
Yeah. and we get asked about those all the time. And we're like, well, we have a, pack art set, we've kept that for ourselves. And we've done really, really well with them because usually something's on a shelf, we'll let someone talk us out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And we have held on to those.
Yeah. So I would say that was a really hard time for me because I was trying everything I could to get us into a new spot and to find something that we could, afford and something that would work for us. And getting rejected over and over again, you start to feel like, hey, maybe this is not the right path. Maybe, because like I said, I got my degree in coaching. I was like, I just go into coaching and, be done with it. I was super discouraged. Like, I remember talking to him that night, and I was just like, man, I just can't do it anymore. I don't have the energy anymore. Like, just getting turned down left and right for places, and I'm like, it's just not working. And I mean, we had all this product in my apartment. I mean, like, you walk in my front door, there's shelves of just Pokemon everywhere, and I'm like, Like, I'm just ready to just sell it all and just be done. Yeah, like I said, super discouraged. I was just upset. And I just remember making that video, and like, I'm pretty sure I cried on screen. I was just, it was something that you want so bad, and like, you can see it like just being something special, but it's just not taking off the way you think. You're good. And so I think at that point I was felt defeated. And then, like I said, talked to him, and he's like, man, let's just give it a little bit more time, think on it a little bit. He's like, and we can kind of go from there. He's like, if you still feel like, being done, we can be done. So she was there with me on market days too. So she helped out at the little booth. But yeah, so I mean, he talked me off the ledge with it, like, and then it just slowly, things just started falling into place. Like, we're firm believers of everything falling into place, which kind of comes back to the big news that we have, for you, obviously. We just kind of not ignored whenever things are put in front of us, like, not be scared to do something. And like I said, with that being said, say everything just kind of falls into place. We thought we had a 2-year lease here, and we're like, man, it's going to cost us, X amount of money to stay here or have this place and try to get a new place. Turns out our lease is up October 31st, and we are in the process of moving to a bigger location. And it's just down the road. I mean, it's a much better, cleaner spot, a lot of windows. I mean, it's a place we've been looking at for a long time. And so, I mean, we're we're gracious for this place.
Yeah.
But, or I guess grateful, not gracious. But I mean, it's served its purpose, but I feel like we couldn't ignore all the things that were lining up for us.
Everything basically that has gotten us here has just been like, seems like it's almost just been a single individual coming forward, like, hey, like, here's this, like, here's this idea. Everything has just been, just basically just an opportunity being presented. I mean, we still sit back a lot of times and we're like, man, like, we have all this, and it's just like everything just kind of spiraled and funneled right into it. It's a really awesome feeling. But yeah, I mean, that's what got us this place was basically his friends and market days. The friend had the place that we could get to. Finances spiraled, based on the sales that we made there and the things we were able to buy. That was two things that were completely unexpected. With the new location that we're talking about, I mean, it's the exact same thing. And we're always afraid that we're going to make a wrong move or do something wrong, that we're going to, lose something that we have, make a poor decision. So, again, just a phone call, we're like, man, we've had so many things just put in front of our face that it's just like, this is what's going to take you to the next step. And so, yeah, everything just lined up perfect. I don't know how it does it, but now it's like we just have to think that it's the universe, it's just things are being put here for a reason and we have to act on them. So that's exactly what the new location has kind of offered us. So
yeah, we downplay, I guess, our role in a lot of this, like within the community and everything. Like we appreciate all of our customers, like especially all the ones that have become friends, and we've met so many awesome people, and there's been so many customers and people that are just like willing to go out of their way just to help us. Like, they don't expect anything in return. They're just like, hey, we really enjoy the community that y'all are building here. And we're just like, man, we didn't even realize that it got to this point. Like, we're like one of our first trade nights, I think we had like 15 people here. And then now we're like at a hotel convention center, like looking at over 150 people.
We were sitting at the register, 15 people here. We're like, oh my God, this is huge. Like, look at all these people. Where did they come from?
But it's amazing. Like, when we get on the Arkansas groups and we see people just like, hey, y'all go to Trainer J's. We recommend Trainer J's. The guys at Trainer J's are just amazing. We're like we're just, honestly, we're just us. Like, we're not trying to do anything special. Our whole thing is, hey, we want to provide a great service. We want to provide great prices and also bring a lot of product that people can't regularly get. And I think that's what we've done. We keep everything as close to retail and market as possible. Usually we have things cheaper than Walmart or Target right now. Mm-hmm. But I mean, outside of just that, it's just about building up the community and freaking showing people that you care about them. Like, kids come in, and I can't count how much free stuff we give away to kids. not even kids though, like collectors, they'll come in, hey man, I'm really needing this card, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, here man, just take this card.
Yeah.
And they're like, really? I mean, and it goes a long way. Like people remember that kind of stuff.
Yeah, players come in here looking for cards for their deck, and we're like going through bulk and stuff, finding these cards, and a lot of times we're just like, yeah, here.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'd much rather just give cards to somebody that they need them than, you know, make $1 on something or, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
It's crazy to think back on them old trade nights, man.
Gosh. So yeah, we saw the turn in them too. And the last one was like 86 degrees in here. I'm like, oh man, I think we're good here.
Yeah.
Say, but I mean, we've been talking about going, you know, branching out, and I was really against it. Like I wanted to have it on site because I feel like the vibe here it's really good, but I feel like having it over there is a really great opportunity as well, and it's going to probably open us up a lot more to, you know, new people. And that's awesome. And our new location has a sign on the actual main street, which we're pumped about. So people actually know we're here.
It'll light up so you can see it at night.
We're
moving up.
We like to say we have free labor from people though a lot, because we have so many people that like to help us. Like, you know, like Amanda and Jess, like they put, not only they put up with us, they like go about and without, you know, asking anything. They're just like, hey, we're doing this. What do y'all think about this? And Amanda's doing the shirts for us and doing the memes, and then Jess is like constantly like willing to work the shop and work the register for us. Mm-hmm. And I mean, not just them, then like Russell, Nick. I mean, we just have so many people that are just willing to just put their free time in just to come and hang out and help out. Yeah, we couldn't be more grateful for the community, because, you know, obviously, as cliche as it is, without them, we don't have anything.
Yeah, you know, we get a lot of people that come in here. You know, of course, we try to greet everyone that comes in, and then, you know, as they're leaving, you know, we appreciate you coming in, because humbly, we definitely do. And yeah, we get those people that's like, no, man, like, thank you, you know, thank y'all for having this place and doing what y'all do. And I'm sitting here like, you know, why are you thanking us? We need to thank y'all. Y'all are giving us this opportunity to do something that we love, and there's no growth without them. So, I mean, it's, you know, definitely one of those things where, you know, mixed emotions, but it's awesome.
Yeah. Honestly, business-wise, that's what helped us, I think, because at the time we were just buying and selling. Like we'd buy from Walmart, we'd buy online on eBay, we'd buy from all these different places, and we were only making like $2 or $3 a pop off of things, because we weren't willing to, you know, buy a shiny face box for $50 and then sell it for 80. We're like, I don't feel good about that. Yeah. So I mean, we were like trying to help people out. Like if people lived far off, we're shipping them stuff. We're buying collections on eBay. I think this COVID being here, I think it helped propel us, because people are looking to have more things to do. People are more willing to go into old hobbies like the video games and card games. And I feel like that's what helped launch us. And that, and us not overselling product, like us not like trying to charge people crazy numbers for stuff. It really got our name out there and got our good reputation built before we even got into the shop. So I feel like it helped.
Yeah. We were also, in a weird way, we were like anti-scalpers. Yeah. Because they were, of course, at the time that we were trying to get a business started, like you couldn't find anything retail. Like it was all being scalped. And we had so many people after we kind of got a name a little bit that were wanting to sell us their collections, and it was closet collections that they failed to scalp. So in a weird way, you know, COVID kind of excelled, you know, the hobby. You know, everyone, you know, was going out and buying a bunch of things and getting back into it. That led to people scalping and just kind of so on. But, you know, we were able to pick up a lot of those collections just from scalpers that failed to scalp, which helped out because, you know, from a financial perspective. But I think that's kind of goes a little bit of COVID kind of helping.
Yeah.
You know, we never really had, I don't guess we really had anything in play for COVID, did we?
No.
It was like masks are optional whenever we started our last location.
Yeah. Because that was like toward the end of it anyways. Mm-hmm. But we, before that, like I said, we were just selling out of the apartment. Like just, we'd post on Facebook Marketplace and on Facebook groups, on online yard sales. and people were like, hey, do you still have it? I'm like, yeah. I was like, this is where I'm at, or I can meet you, or however. And so I mean, we were grinding, we were hustling back then. But it's been a wild ride. Like we didn't expect any of this. And still to this day, we still don't we're like from where we're from. Like we're both from like super like humble backgrounds. Like say my family is very poor, so the expectations of me growing up and making something of myself, I don't feel we're ever like really there. So like the fact of where we're at now, college degree, freaking owning a business, which is wild in the first place. I never thought I'd own a business.
Especially accidentally.
Yeah, especially accidentally. And so I mean, we're really grateful for what we have and like the people that are in our lives, and it's I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's a lot to process.
And having the centralized place where so many people love to come and spend their time. Something that we've recently talked about that is just amazing to us that we never really thought would add kind of another level, but it kind of brings things kind of together, a little bit. But people are becoming friends, from coming in here. Like we have customers that come in here and they'll be like, oh, there's, a card of so-and-so. I need to message so-and-so and tell them. And then someone else will come in, they'll see something, message someone else. And before we know it, we have like 4 of our usuals that we realize have communication outside of the shop, which is super awesome. I mean, that's, and we've kind of heard people, talk in a way that they had no idea that there were so many fans of Pokemon local. And, so it's kind of like, they kind of live a more social life now for meeting other people in the shop. And that just kind of adds another layer, which is super cool.
We have some kids that, before they were so worried about being made fun of, being bullied for liking Pokemon, and they come in here and see like all the adults who are doing it, and they're like, oh my gosh, it doesn't even like there's so many people, like these are grown-ups who like this. So I mean, obviously it's not a big deal to freaking play the game. And then you have adults who come in who may have never played Pokemon or never collected or used to when they were kids. They come in and they're like, they get back into it, or they start collecting, like someone with some Ninetales. But and I mean it's the same thing like Jessica. She collects like Dragonites and Gyarados and Sylveons and such. And I mean it's like everyone has their little niche who may not have ever thought they were gonna like Pokemon. And it's I'd say that's a really cool thing. It's becoming such a like an accepted, form of hobby. And yeah, that was weird.
That was weird.
That was a weird sound.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. We've talked about it a lot actually. Within the next couple of years, probably, I think once we get settled into this new location, that's going to be our staple in Conway. We feel like that location is going to be the spot for years to come. From there, we have both agreed we want to branch out into second, third locations. We've talked to several people about where they think we should be at, and it's pretty common that we want to be in the Fayetteville area. So I mean, I think we have a lot of friends up there who are more than willing to help out and put together a store and get it running. And so I mean, that's honestly, I feel like that's our next step for that. And then outside of the store, trade nights and blowing them up and making them like not just an Arkansas event, but like a regional event. And from the looks of it, it's on its way there. Like, wow.
Yeah, we had, once we actually got a brick and mortar location and had a stable footing, we never really thought about what Trade Night could be. It was just like we have a store here, we'll get some people in here, and it blew up. And that was one of the things that really surprised us. They caught us off guard, and we're like, wow, like this is a thing. And so yeah, like we've recently kind of started talking about the Trade Night ideas, kind of led by the hotel. We had several other businesses reach out to us about having it in their they have a center out back, they have a big room, things like that, which is awesome that it's making waves in Conway that way. But yeah, I mean, Trade Night, the sky's the limit.
Yeah. The most humbling thing is hearing like all these other stores and different places are trying to put on trade nights now. Like we have a friend who lives in Massachusetts now, Five Pack Magic, and he's got his local store doing trade nights, and they're like basing it off of what we do, and we're like y'all can base it off of what we do. Like as long as we're expanding and growing the community, I'm like we don't have any ill will with anyone trying to like do trade nights or other even local shops. Like we've had them reach out and be like, hey, you know, have we thought about doing something like where we can all collab together? And so I mean, it's all about growing together. Like we're not trying to, you know, shut anyone else down or, you know, talk bad about any other businesses or anything like that. Like we strongly feel that, hey, in order for us to grow, everyone around us needs to grow as well. And I mean, we've done that with solely Pokemon so far, like, because it seems like a lot of other stores, their main focuses are Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! And these other games. And we're like, you know what, we can just slide in here, we'll do Pokemon, blow it up, and kind of go from there. At the next location, we do plan to have a bigger Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Section and eventually board games. I know me and Josh talked about we want to get into video games as well. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the sky's the limit on all that. But, yeah.
Oh, definitely. We're definitely going to be in that new location playing some Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, like I said, we just kind of snowball ideas. Like, I remember me and you and Amanda and Jess and Nick and Russell, I think whoever, it was like so many of us sitting here at like 1 or 2 in the morning after a trade night, and we're just sitting here like, wow. Like we had no idea it could be something like this. And I mean, it's crazy to me. Like she never in a million years was going to be into Pokemon. And now she's like so intertwined in the community, like with new friends who are, you know, she's met through this community. Like that's like the craziest thing to me is like it's not even about just Pokemon anymore. It's just like if it started as Pokemon, but now you have like you were saying, like long-term friendships building with these people.
Yeah. And
it's just like we're blown away by it because we just see ourselves as two guys who grew up poor who wanted to do something cool with something we enjoyed, and here we are.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know. So I'll just say this because it's an important weekend for us, obviously as a business. Personally speaking, it's a big weekend for me as well. Without this community being here, this weekend would probably be like unbearable because it's 10-year anniversary tomorrow with my mom's passing. And every time I think about it, I'm like, man, I'm so grateful to have the store, the friends that I've made, have everyone that's close to me, because outside of that, like it'd be so rough. But every time I think about the shop, or I put work into the shop, or me and Josh talk, like it's like I'm able to take some stuff off my shoulders and say it means the world to me to have this place and all the people that are, you know, come to, you know, just from, you know, wanting to be a part of Pokemon. And so, I mean, I'm very appreciative of everyone in my life and everyone who's willing to go out of their way to help. Like, that's just like the most incredible thing to me is like, I put a lot into this store. Like I put a lot of like extra time in, and I know that it affects a lot of people around me, how much time and effort I put in here. And it's very much appreciated to me. Like people recognize, hey, he's busting his butt to try to, you know, provide something. And me and Josh talk about all the time the things that, you know, we're doing to try to like expand like what we're doing. Like with grading, like I didn't even care about doing grading for companies. So that was like Josh's thing. He's like, man, if we do provide grading for people, you know, it's another avenue that other stores aren't doing. And so he's the man when it comes to grading, checking cards and helping people with that. I absolutely hate it, but like I'm very grateful for obviously the friendship that has been built because of us going into this together. And I'm not saying that he's not annoying sometimes and I want to, you know, kick him, but I'm very much appreciative of him. And like I said, of him, of Jess, of Russell, of you, Amanda, of course, because she puts up with me all the time.
She put up with us for Kansas City.
Yeah, she had to be in a hotel room with me and Josh in Kansas City.
I mean, I can't think of a better place to be. I
That's
don't
what
see
I
the problem.
Said. But she said she'll definitely get her own room next time. So that's what she said.
Yeah.
But no, it's a crazy thing of what we build. And I tell people, I'm like, yeah, I'm full time. This is my only job as a Pokemon store owner. And people are like, what? Really? And I'm like, yeah, like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
Like tattooed with Pokemon, like we're
Oh,
all
yeah.
in.
And,
But yeah.
whenever we were talking about growth and things and directions that we could go, we were like, so what's going to be the plan if we get big? And Justin is like, I'm going full time. Like that's my thing.
Yeah.
And it happened.
So from absolutely the bottom of our hearts, we are beyond appreciative of everyone who comes to the store, whether you purchase something or not, or you're just here to hang out and put up with us. Like we seriously can't thank y'all enough for making this a reality. Like this has been incredible. Today's our trade night, our September trade night. It's like what, our 7th, 8th one? Somewhere around there. I think we
Yeah.
started in January.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly gotten bigger, and we couldn't do what we love without everyone who is watching. Like we really, really appreciate y'all. Y'all, like, you have no idea. And we're gonna continue to grow and have an honest business, and try our best to make everyone proud and happy, and see what we can build for Arkansas. And hopefully we can keep this going and be Arkansas's like #1 Pokemon place.
Yeah.
I think we're there.
Who is competing?
Right, but no, seriously, thank y'all so much. Like y'all make this happen.